I'm Agnes. I'm Agnes Manuntag from Sindalan High School, teaching grade 7. And then I'm expecting to learn more different applications regarding the teaching and learning process so that it will be more interactive with our learner.
All right, thank you po. So you are expecting to learn more about how to make lessons more interactive. So thank you so much, Ma'am Agnes. And let's have Ma'am Laarne Pineda.
Good morning po. So ako po si Ma'am Laarne Pineda from Pampanga High School po. So nagtuturo po ako ngayon ng grade 8 math. So katulad po nung sabi kanina ni Ma'am Annabella David, halos decimals po yung ginagamit sa pag-graph po ng mga inequality. So sa course po na ito, sana po mas matututunan po namin yung GeoGebra para mas marami po kaming may turo sa mga bata. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you po, Ma'am. Then let's have Ma'am Leslie Laurente.
Hello po. Good morning po.
Morning po.
Leslie Ann Laurente po from Northville High School. Grade 7 po yung tinuturo ko, Mathematics 7. Pero familiar po ako dun sa GeoGebra kasi nagturo po ako ng part-time ng grade 11 and 12. Medyo ginagamit po namin. Okay. Mas gusto ko pa pong malaman yung about GeoGebra po kasi konti pa lang po yung background ko po. Salamat po.
Right, thank you, Ma'am Leslie Ann. Ayan, may background na pala si Ma'am. So baka
konti lang po.
Okay.
Minsan ko lang po siya nagamit.
Okay. So yung konti na yan, madadagdagan po yan. So lalo na kapag nag-participate po tayo. All right, let's thank you, Ma'am. Then let's have Ma'am Ira Quezon.
Good morning po. My name po is Ira May Quezon from San Isidro Integrated School, teaching Mathematics 9 po. So I'm expecting po na malaman ko po more na apps para magamit po sa lesson. Yun lang po.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Ira. All right, let's have Ma'am Maria Ella Carino.
Good morning po. Maria Ella Carino po from Northville High School. Nagtuturo din po ng Math 10, pero ngayon po may hawak din akong 7. So, usually po, decimals din yung ginagamit namin pagdating sa graphing. Yun po, looking forward to learn more dito po sa GeoGebra na mas magamit namin ngayon po. Yan lang po.
Thank you po. So ang dami niyo na palang alam, no? Like yung mga graphing software. All right. Let's have Ma'am Raquel David. Nakamute po kayo, Ma'am.
Raquel S. David from Sindalan High School, presently handling Mathematics 10. So yung expectation ko po, medyo napakarami. Itong software po ba na to, isang package lang ba siya for all levels of education? Nandyan na ba yung geometry, calculus, statistics, and so on and so forth? Tapos, free po ba ito sa aming mga guro at sa aming mga estudyante? So, yun po yung gusto kong malaman.
Okay.
Sa session natin.
Sagutin na natin yan, Sir Alan.
Ha? Sagutin na natin. O, Sir JR, sagutin na natin. Para hindi maano yung excitement ni Ma'am. Okay.
Thank you po.
Ito na yung excitement. Opo, free po yan. It's free. It's, lahat po. From elementary to high school to three-dimensional 3D geometry to augmented reality, meron po ang GeoGebra. Pero syempre, ang sakop lang ng ng course na to ay the very basics. We will have more courses in the future. Course 2 is under development. This is GeoGebra course 1. So hopefully, pag mayroon ng bagong course ay ma-inform din kayo. So lahat po yung sinabi nyo, meron po yan. Calculus, nandyan po. and it's
Thank
free.
you, sir. Thank you po.
Welcome.
So from basic mathematics up to advanced mathematics actually. So okay, thank you po. All right. Thank you for that question, ma'am. And then let's have Ma'am Pauline Joy Sagin. Sagin? Sorry. Ano po ba? Ano ba yung pangalan ni ma'am? Okay, tama po ba to? Ayun.
Bangit po.
Po?
Bangit po. Okay, so I'm Pauline Joy Lozano Bangit po, from Sagin Integrated School. Currently, grade 10 mathematics po. Mayroon po akong konting experience po sa paggamit ng Desmos. And I'm expecting to learn po how to explore po yung application or yung mga tools GeoGebra.
Okay, thank you po, Ma'am Pauline. All right. Ayun pala, yun is Sagin Integrated School po pala yung pangalan. Okay, thank you po. Then let's have Ma'am Erlinda Tan.
Hello po. Good morning po. I'm Erlinda Tan from Sindalan High School po. Kanina po yata hindi natawag yung name ng school namin during the opening program.
Oo ma'am, kasi yung ang last update na kahapon ng 5 o'clock. So yung mga late nag-register, may update kasi ng 10 o'clock din na namin nasama. So
Okay po.
we apologize for that.
Okay po. Sindalan High School po. I am handling grade 8 mathematics and meron po akong konting knowledge about the use of GeoGebra since I am using point plotting and we are using GeoGebra in graphing linear equations and linear inequalities. Pero konting-konti lang po. Pinaka-basic na basic lang po. So I'm expecting that I will learn more to navigate the application. Thank you po.
Hey, thank you din po. Okay, si ma'am, konting-kunti lang daw. Pinanindigan niyang konting-kunti. Huwag po kayong matakot, ma'am, kahit marami po yung alam natin. Alam ko po, kakayanin natin to. Alright, so let's have Ma'am Cindy Santos.
Hello po, good morning. Ma'am Cindy Santos po from SVQIS, teaching Mathematics 7 and Mathematics 9. And I am expecting to learn new techniques and strategies regarding this course since this is new for me po and hindi ko pa po talaga hindi pa po ako familiar with this GeoGebra. Thank you po.
Alright, thank you din po, ma'am. So huwag kayong mag-alala. Nandito po yung mga facilitators para i-guide po kayo. Okay, thank you po. And then let's have Ma'am Michelle Angeles.
Good morning po. Good morning. I'm Michelle Angeles po from Pampanga2021 High School, teaching grade 9 mathematics po. I'm looking forward po talaga sa GeoGebra kasi po this is my first time po talaga. Excited na excited po.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po for that excitement. All right, let's have Ma'am, Sir, is it Ma'am Mikey Alimorong?
Yes po. Good morning po. Ayan, so I'm Mikey Alimorong po and I am currently teaching at Telabastagan Integrated School. Honestly po, I am not handling any mathematics subject po. I'm handling values education subjects. But during my first year of teaching po, I used to teach Mathematics 7 po. And as for my expectations po, though I know the name GeoGebra po kasi medyo famous po talagang GeoGebra, pero I am not yet familiar with its application po. So ayun lang po. Thank you po.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, let's have Sir Vittorio Nico ulit.
Hello po and good morning po. My name po is Vittorio Nico Ulep po and I'm teaching grade 10 mathematics po, Information and Communication Technology High School. Medyo alam ko rin po yung basics ng GeoGebra pero yun lang po basics kasi ginagamit ko po po siya to emphasize the graph of polynomial functions lalo na sa grade 10. And medyo excited ako ngayon kasi baka makahabol pa yung matututunan ko this course or this training bago ko siya ituro sa online class ko niyan this second quarter sa mga grade 10. So I'm excited po.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, let's have Ma'am Dina Reyes.
Hello po, good morning po. From Pampanga High School po, I am teaching grade 7. Looking forward po ako to learn more applications of GeoGebra para magamit ko po sa aking online teaching din sa mga SSC students po, grade 7 sa Pampanga High School. Thank you po, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am. Okay, let's have Ma'am Sir Nino F. Merlumba.
Okay, good morning po. I am Sir Nino F. Mergilumba from Sindalan High School, currently teaching Mathematics 8, and I am expecting to learn the features of GeoGebra po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's have Ma'am Risa Patdu.
Good morning po. From Pampanga High School po, nagtuturo po ako ng grade 9 math. With this course po, sana maging familiar po ako sa paggamit ng GeoGebra. Nagamit ko na po siya, kaso hindi po ako naka-sign up. Bali, basic lang po. Bali, parang tuldok lang po yung alam ko.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am. Thank you for that. All right, let's have Ma'am, is it Ma'am Crisal Marie Rivera?
Ayaw po yata ng video ko, sorry.
Sige, okay lang po.
Good morning po. Crisel Marie Rivera po from Pampanga High School. Currently teaching Mathematics 9 po for 6 years na po. So from nag-start ako, grade 9 Mathematics na po yung hawak ko. So in this course po, sana makilala ko po si GeoGebra kasi nga po, mostly po ang gamit namin is Desmos po. Thank you so much po.
Right, thank you, Ma'am. Okay, makikilala po ninyo si GeoGebra. Sana ng at higit nyo pang kikilalanin. All right, thank you for that. Then let's have Ma'am Carmina Aguilar Perez. Ma'am, nakamute po kayo.
Hello po, good morning po. I'm Carmina Aguilar Perez po from Sindalan High School, handling grade 7 po. So I'm expecting po that I can use other applications like this GeoGebra po in my online class for the better learning of my students. Honestly, I am not yet using this GeoGebra, so hopefully I can be able to learn about this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am. Right, let's have Ma'am Maricar Antonio.
Good morning po sa lahat. I am Maricar Antonio from Sindalan High School po. I'm currently teaching grade 10 Mathematics. May konting background na po sa paggamit po ng GeoGebra, lalo na po nung gumagawa po kami ng modules po namin. Pero medyo parang natatagalan pa po ako sa pag-explore po dito sa GeoGebra. So with this webinar po, sana mas mapadali po yung paggamit ko po ng app na to para po mas madali din po yung application po namin in our online class po. Thank you po.
All right, thank you, Ma'am. Okay, let's have Ma'am Catherina Joy Francisco. Hindi ko mabasa po yung buong pangalan ni Ma'am.
So, good morning po. I am Catherina Joy Tasik po from Pampanga High School. I am currently handling grade 8 Mathematics po. So, I am using GeoGebra application po, pero yung sa cellphone lang po. So, for graphing purposes po. So, I am expecting to learn more about GeoGebra po, particularly po para magamit ko din po siya sa online class. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am. All right, let's have Ma'am, is it Livy David?
Yes po, good morning po. Actually po, I'm not a math major. AP po talaga ako, but it's not my first time to teach math. So, hindi ako masyadong familiar po sa GeoGebra. So, I'm looking forward to learn a lot and how to teach math effectively. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. All right, let's have Ma'am Cristel Sikat.
Good morning po. So, Cristel Sikat po from San Isidro Integrated School, teaching Mathematics 7. So, yun po, I'm expecting po na matutunan po yung different application po ng GeoGebra. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let's have Ma'am Gina Valencia.
Good morning po. Good morning po again. Ako po si Ma'am Gina Valencia ng Panipuan High School. I'm teaching Mathematics 10, siguro po for almost 10 years na. Pero sa totoo lang, wala po akong any application na ginagamit sa pagtuturo ko ng mathematics. So, ang iniisip ko po na yung GeoGebra ay makakatulong, especially in graphing. So, kagaya po ng sinabi ng iba nating mga kasamahan na guro, na siguro po hindi lang limited for graphing ang matututunan namin dyan sa GeoGebra, kundi sa marami pa pong mga concept na pwede namin i-apply in learning mathematics po. So ang iniisip ko pong magiging problema lang, so yung pong internet connection. So iniisip ko po kung ito po ay ginagamitan ng internet connection, so magiging impossible po yata na ma-apply, or I mean, ako po matuturo ko sa bata, pero yung mga bata, iniisip ko paano sila makakasunod kung walang internet connection po sa mga classroom. So yun lang po.
Thank you po. Actually, hindi po siya kailangan ng internet connection kung nada-download po siya. So, anyone can download this app, and then okay, thank you for that, ma'am. And then let's have Ma'am Karen Sanchez.
Hello po, good morning everyone. I'm Karen Sanchez from Northville High School. Actually, basic lang po yung alam ko sa GeoGebra. Pero I'm looking forward po para ma-explore pa po yung GeoGebra. Especially, I'm handling Math 8 and 9. Kaya kailangan po siya. Yung po sanang kung paano ko siya may impart sa mga estudyante kapag face-to-face na. Kasi kung sila po ay gagamit ng computer, yung mas easy po sana na transfer po sa kanila kung paano gamitin yung GeoGebra.
All right, thank you
Salamat.
po, Karen. Thank you po. Then let's have Ma'am Donna May Sanchez.
Good morning po. I'm Donna May Sanchez po from Northville High School. I'm teaching Mathematics 10 and 7. Nag-expect po ako na marami matututunan, lalo na po sa application ng GeoGebra, na magagamit ko po lalo na po sa new normal. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am Donna. Then let's have Ma'am Maya Renia Bondok.
Hello po, good morning po. I'm Maya Renia Bondok po from Pampanga High School. I am teaching grade 7 math po. Basic lang din po yung alam ko po sa GeoGebra, pero nagamit ko naman po siya sa pag-illustrate po ng mga basic geometric concepts po. So, yun po, sana po mas matutunan ko po kung paano siya gamitin. Thank you po.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am. Then let's have Ma'am Rosalie Cabrera.
Yes po, good morning po. I am Ma'am Rosalie M. Cabrera po from Pampanga High School, grade 7 po. So, gusto ko pa po may natutunan dun sa GeoGebra do. Konti lang yung alam ko po sa pag-graph. And then, paano siya magawa this time na nasa bahay po yung mga bata. Yung teacher nasa sa bahay din po.
All right, thank you po, Ma'am Rosalie. Then let's have Ma'am Andrea Zablan. Andyan po si Ma'am Andrea Sablan. So in case wala po si Ma'am, balikan natin si Sir John Paul Manese kung andyan na po.
Yes, hello sir. Good morning po.
Hey, good morning, sir.
So, pasensya na po. Nagre-retrieval lang po sa school kaya hindi nakakasagot. May mga parents po kasi. Ayan, sir. So, ang expectation lang po, sir. By the way, I'm Sir John Paul Manese from Pampanga High School po. Hoping lang po na maraming matutunan specifically sa mga strategies, new strategies na pwede po namin gamitin sa pagtuturo using yung using different apps po na pwede nyong i-share po sa amin. Thank you po.
Ano pong grade level ang tinuturuan?
Grade 10 po, sir. Sorry. Grade 10 po, sir. Grade 10 mathematics po.
Thank you, Sir John. All right. Shall we call on Sir Jomel Luz Baliktar?
Good morning po. Sir Jomel po ng Northville High School po, grade 9 math at saka grade 10 po. So, medyo curious po ako sa mga bagong upgrades kasi ginamit ko na po dati itong GeoGebra na na-download ko sa Play Store. Ano yung pinagkaiba nito sa application na nakuha ko po sa Play Store? Yan lang. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, sir. And then let's have Ma'am Andrea Zablan. Ma'am, andyan na po kayo. Ma'am. And baka si Ma'am meron pang di kaya may problema sa connection. All right. So I think we can formally start our session. So maybe before we proceed to our short introduction about the course, shall we call on Sir J.R. Bautista if you have some announcement? Sir J.R., may announcement ba?
Okay, so be sure lang po na kayo ay naka-enroll while doing the preliminary activities with Doc Alan. Be sure to enroll in our Google Classroom. And later, if you have time, I'll give you time to register a GeoGebra account. Pero ngayon, kailangan nating ma-enroll kay Google Classroom. And while waiting, baka pwede nyo nang i-download yung GeoGebra app mo. The GeoGebra app has a web version, no? But if you're in your internet connection is not stable, then you can download the GeoGebra app. Ang ida-download nyo po ay GeoGebra Classic 6. Pwede ba ako mag-share na lang muna, Sir Alan? Just a minute. Let me share my screen. If you go to geogebra.org, so type nyo lang yung geogebra.org. And then you can go to app downloads dito sa gilid. And then you have to download GeoGebra Classic 6. Kung meron kayong internet, kung mabilis ang internet connection nyo, you can just click on the start. No need to download. No? Pero kung gusto niyo na offline, na pwede nyong gamitin, you can just click on the download link. So itong download nito. Hindi ko alam kung ilang MB ito. Ay, pumunta siya sa Apple. I'm not sure how many MB. Anyway, so yun. GeoGebra.org and then punta sa gilid, download apps, and then GeoGebra Classic 6. Ang ida-download nyo. Kasi maraming klase yan. So you have to download the GeoGebra Classic 6. You will need a laptop for the activities. Baka mahirapan kayo kung cellphone ang gagamitin. So just one reminder. Thank you. Nakamute ka, sir.
So I'd like to thank you, Sir JR. I'd like to emphasize that we require you to please use laptop or desktop instead of mobile phone or other what you call that, mobile gadgets, kasi mahihirapan po tayong mag-construct or gumawa ng mga activities. All right, so I think let's learn more about the course. So let's start with a very short introduction. So this is actually one of the courses that we offer at UP Med. So we call it course number 5. And we've been offering this to other divisions like in Marinduque and of course in what's the other one? In Navotas City in NCR. So we'd like to welcome you once again to this course. And these are the aims and objectives of the course. This course aims to equip and service mathematics teachers with the knowledge and skills of using GeoGebra for teaching and learning mathematics. So hopefully, knowing the basic,
Mars,
we know.
Pasuyo, pasuyo ko pare mo yung kaya kontak. Wow.
Ma'am Andrea, please.
Okay, naka-unmute na siya. All right. I know we know how to teach math, no? And then we know the basics, and hopefully we can actually enhance teaching and learning of mathematics using GeoGebra. Okay, so okay, nasaan na ako? Hirapan kasi akong hindi na halos gumagalaw yung aking computer. All right, specifically this course will equip mathematics teachers with the knowledge and skills on how to draw and construct mathematics objects, investigate properties of mathematics objects, and investigate the effects of varying parameters of functions on this graph. So these are actually the scope of the course. So, all right. So you're expected, of course, this is one of the, what do you call that? One of the requirements of the course. So you'll be expected to apply the acquired knowledge and skills in designing GeoGebra-based mathematical activities. Sorry, kulangan ng activities. Nairis ko yata. All right. So, well, we're done with the online registration and we're continuing with the course survey and course briefing. Later on, bali, may survey tayong ipapa-accomplish sa inyo. And then, of course, introduction to GeoGebra and Google Classroom. So, these are the schedules, no? So, yung Zoom link na ibigay na sa inyo. So, we usually have these schedules, November 11, 15, 17, 22, 24, and 25. So, later on, we'll be sending you or we'll be providing you the schedule of the course and it will be posted at FB group. Tama po ba, Sir JR, no? Sa FB group natin ipo-post yung schedule natin.
Yes, sir.
At pati yung mga deadlines ng ating mga activities. So, of course, we are requesting you to please, during the Zoom meeting session, we would like to request you to please use this format, last name and first name, because we are monitoring also your attendance. And then we'll be like also to ask permission that we'll be getting screenshots. So ini-screenshot po namin yung session for the attendance. And then this will also be used in submitting in all submission forms, no, in submitting exercises, activity output, and then of course the quizzes. So meron po tayong quiz. So yes, totoo po yun. Meron tayong quiz. And of course, asynchronous naman to. So I'm sure hindi naman kayo nito mahihirapan. All right. So yun po. Last name, first name. And hopefully, if you're using, okay, later on, ano natin. So you will be, mamaya to, ipapakita ni Sir JR to, paano mag-submit at ano yung mga forms na gagamitin. At like when you submit an applet, submit exercises and quizzes. So later on, ito yung matutunan natin. Of course, we'd like to remind you na please do not give or share the Zoom meeting or the link for the Zoom meeting to non-participants. And then regarding a Gmail account, because we will be using the Google Classroom, we are requesting you to please use your Gmail account, not your DepEd account, because there will be some restrictions if you'll be using the DepEd account. Like us also, we're not using our UP account, we're using our Gmail account for the Google Classroom. So this will serve as your official mail account during the duration of the training, and your name will, with your email address, will be registered in the Google Classroom. So please use only one Gmail account. Kung nag-register na kayo, yun lang po. Huwag na kayo gumamit pa ng iba para hindi ho kami mahihirapan, because we had experienced that yung isang participants gumamit ng dalawang magkaibang Gmail account. So minsan na-submit niya using one account, tapos yung isa submit na naman using another account. So mahirap po mag-consolidate, so baka ma-missing po yung submission ninyo. Alright. And then participation, attendance, and submission. So in case of dropping, of course, we don't we discourage substitution. So uso yung substitution natin ngayon, pero sana hindi mangyayari sa classroom. Okay. Attendance during the synchronous sessions will be recorded and will be monitored, and the submission of the requirements. And then regarding late submission and no submission, that will be discussed later on by Sir JR. Paano ba kung late? Paano ba kung hindi nag-submit? Ano ba yung mga consequence? Ano ba yung mga implications? So kailangan nating intindihin ito. All right, this is the course structure. So it has 4 modules, and then the first and second modules, the teachers will be familiarized with the basic tools and graphing functionalities of GeoGebra. Whereas the third module, you will be exploring capabilities of GeoGebra sliders. And of course, the fourth, you'll be creating dynamic worksheet composed of applet and a set of guide questions. And of course, upload them on the GeoGebra website. So I think the last part, you need to, of course, master the first 3 modules, because in the fourth module, you will be a combination of our skill in asking questions, guide questions, in relation to the dynamic worksheet. All right. So these are the requirements. All right. So you will be asked to accomplish 10 activities, of course, 10 practice exercises, 2 quizzes, and a final project. This final project will be done in groups. So maybe you can do it by school, or it will be decided later. So tingnan natin kung anong maganda, what do you call that, feasible na magkaroon tayo ng final project by grouping. Okay, so the training matrix, I'll like to show you the training matrix. Sana makikita. Let's see. Nakikita ba? Nakita po ba yung ano?
Training matrix lang po. Title lang po, sir. Wala po naman.
Wala. So, i-answer ko muna. Okay, so, okay. See? All right. Ayan po, nakikita nyo na? Okay.
Yes,
so,
Yes, sir.
all right. Officially, we will start at 9 o'clock in the morning up to 12. However, the Zoom link or the Zoom will be open at 8:45 for the participants. And then I would like to know whether you will have your short or the daily routine from your end. Na kayo po ang mag-initiate, like you have a short like for 15 minutes, meron pong short recall or recap about the previous activities or learnings or maybe insights. And then it's up to you whether you want a short prayer. So kayo na po ang bahalang mag-organize among yourselves. So you may, anyway, hindi naman to sunod-sunod yung araw. So maybe you can have like on November 15, somebody will be assigned. So among yourselves, you can actually assign somebody maybe you can do it by school. So kayo na po magde-decide. So later on, so paano kaya yung, so we'll be giving you like 10 minutes to plan for this before we end our first session this morning. All right. So these are I'm not going into the details of the activities. However, I'd like to emphasize that there will be two modalities here. We have synchronous and asynchronous sessions. So for synchronous, we'll have the Zoom meeting. We'll be using the Zoom for the meeting. And these are the corresponding activities. No, it will be, anyway, it will be posted. And then we have for asynchronous, you'll be doing activities and other practice exercises. And the corresponding deadline for all of these activities will be posted. And I'll also show you later. So ito yung mga gagawin natin. So November 11, November 15, November 17, these are the synchronous sessions. So it will be today, Thursday, then Monday, then Wednesday next week. And then let's have and then Monday the following week, that will be in Monday, November 22. However, we'll be having a special session in the afternoon of November 23. We'll have like 3 hours, 1:30 to 4:30. So we'll be discussing the corresponding activities that are posted here. And then November 20, and it's also a way to maybe to plan for the final project. And however, on November 24, it will not be, we call that, a session for discussion of the activities, but it will be a consultation for the final project. So it will be done by group, and then you're going to consult about your project. So I will be giving comments about this, whether it's feasible, and then how you may improve. And there will be some questions regarding how you may improve your project. So that's for the November 24 meeting. And then on November 25, you'll be asked to present your final project. So it will be done in plenary. So other groups can react, other groups can comment, and can actually ask questions for further improvement of the final project. And then of course evaluation. All right, so let's see. So let's continue. Okay. So this is now I'd like to give you the overview of each of the modules. So like module 1, it is entitled Geometry in GeoGebra. So graphical user interface and the geometry perspective of GeoGebra. And you will learn how to use the basic tools in constructing geometric objects and investigating their properties. So here we'll be exposing you not only to construct figures or objects, but we'll be also be guided on how to use this GeoGebra to investigate properties of geometric objects. So at the end of this module, you should be able to do the following: navigate GeoGebra user interface and manage the GeoGebra the geometry perspective easily. And then in this module, you will familiarize yourselves with geometry perspective easily. Use the point, line, segment, line, and circle tools to draw basic geometric objects. Use the distance, angle, and slope tools to investigate properties of geometric objects. And then modify properties of mathematical objects using the setting and style bars. And then understand the difference among free, dependent, and fixed objects. All right, it has 4 activities and of course 4 practice exercises. All right, so module 2 will be focused on sliders in GeoGebra. And of course, you'll familiarize yourselves with the slider tool of GeoGebra. And then you will also use keyboard commands to create mathematical objects. And these are the expectations that you will be using. Use the number, angle, and integer sliders to construct dynamic objects. Modify properties of number, angle, and integer sliders, and use the input bar to plot points, graph, circles, and perform calculations. So it has 3 activities and of course 3 practice exercises. So meron ding 3 practice exercises. All right. So Module 3 is graphs in GeoGebra. So you will learn how to graph functions using GeoGebra, and you will also learn how to use sliders to investigate effects of parameters of functions to their graphs. So here, this is not just merely about graphing, but we'll also be using more dynamic graphs and then using the slider to investigate the properties. All right, so at the end of this module, you should be able to do the following: graph polynomial, exponential, and logarithmic functions, graph piecewise functions and functions with restricted domains. Of course, formatting. You can have format the color, the size, the style, and of course, style of graphs and points, and then use sliders to investigate the effect of parameters of functions to its graph. It has 3 activities and 3 practice exercises. All right, so these are the important dates, and it will also be published on FB page. So these are the tasks. May pares-pares yan, activity 1 and practice exercise 1. And then merong due date, tapos merong oras. Okay, why we why do we specify the time? Because after submission, we'll have enough time to check your work. So the following meeting, the following synchronous meeting, madidiscuss po natin lahat ng mga nagawa nyo. Kasi meron pong, kumbaga, bago i-discuss, dapat nakapag-submit lahat. So paano kung hindi nakapag-submit at ma-discuss na dapat natin? So mamaya i-discuss yan ni Sir JR. Alright. Meron kasi tayong pag-usapan, agreement, para po maayos po yung ating training at yung output ay ma-accomplish lahat, yung mga requirements. Tapos on our end also, we can also have enough time to check your work, and the following meeting or following synchronous meeting, magkakaroon po tayo ng giving of feedback and sharing of insights. All right. So, okay, that's it. So, okay. So, do you have questions before we proceed to our other activities this morning? So, ano yung napag-usapan natin? Yung mga deadlines, siguro klaro na siguro yun. Yung pong ating paggamit ng isang email address lang po, email account for Google Classroom registration. At yung content naman ng course ay isa-isahin naman natin yan. Although marami yon, pero we will do it by module. All right. So I think Sir JR,
Yes, sir.
Kayo na?
Pwede. Sige.
Or magbe-break muna tayo kasi 10 o'clock na.
So sige, maybe you can have a 10-minute break. 10 minutes, no? Pwede na para for coffee or kung ano man sila, mag-toilet break sila. So see you at, sige, bigyan natin ng allowance, 9:57 pa lang sa aking 10:10.
Okay.
Sige
po. You at 10:10. So, wag na lang po kayong umalis wag na lang po yung anong tawag na? Magli-leave sa Zoom. So,
we'll start at 10:10 for the official GeoGebra session.
Okay. So, thank you.
All right, so before we start, lahat po ba tayo ay nakapag-download na ng GeoGebra app? Sino pa po hindi nakakapag-download? Meron pa ba? Kindly raise your hand kung meron pang hindi nakakapag-download. Okay, so pwede na po tayo mag-start, no? Pwede natin i-download ngayon para later pag gagamitin na natin siya ay pwede nyo nang gamitin. Now, pag hindi kayo makapag-download, for example, hindi kayo makapag-download sa ngayon, mahina yung internet, you can also go to geogebra.org. So pwede pong pwedeng kasi medyo malaki yata yung file. So you can go to geogebra.org and you can use the web app, no? So dito rin sa app downloads, instead of download, you click on the start button here. So ang makikita ninyo ay yung yung web version ng GeoGebra. So pareho din yan. Pareho din siya dun sa offline version. So pwede nyo rin gamitin to. So later pag-aaralan natin paano to gamitin, paano mag-save kasi medyo magkaiba sila ng method pag-save if you're using the online version and you're using the offline version. Right, so next is, lahat ba tayo ay nakapag-enroll na doon sa ating Google Classroom? Let me check. Kasi gagamitin din natin ito sa activity natin. Kailangan lahat din kayo enrolled na. So again, if you have not yet registered to the Google Classroom, you go to this link. You lalagay ko sa chat box. So you go to this link. Go to classroom.google.com. Classroom. And then use the code. Use this code IFS B27M. Then natin kailangan kompleto tayo sa Google Classroom. So as of now, 22 have already enrolled. So unahin muna natin yan para nandito tayo lahat sa Google Classroom. Please click on the link and then use the code to enter the classroom. Sige po, gawin na po natin. I'll give you 3 minutes to do it. And please, again, as Dr. Alan mentioned earlier, please use only one Gmail account for the Google Classroom. No? Tatanggalin namin yung inyong isang account pag dalawa yung na-enroll ninyo. Dahil mahirap pag-consolidate, no? We have no time to consolidate your scores from 2 different accounts. So we avoid enrolling 2 accounts, 2 or more accounts. So we're waiting for 5 more teachers to enroll. Sino pa po ang hindi nakapag-enroll? Please raise your hand. Sir Alan, si Doc Mona merong email, mukhang urgent yata. Okay, so we have 4 more, but I think we can start no, while they are enrolling. Dun sa mga tapos na po, the next step is to answer the survey on the use of GeoGebra. So if you're already in your Google Classroom, so you go to classwork, and then makikita ninyo yung survey on the use of GeoGebra. Now please answer this survey. Ano lang po yan, it will take maybe 5 minutes, so up until 10:26 or 10:27 para masagutan ninyo. Mabilis lang naman po yan. So mostly mamimili lang kayo ng options and a few texts siguro. Anyway, take your time. I'll also put the link in the chat box. So just bear with us. No, medyo matagal talaga yung preliminaries, but once we started our session, ay mabilis lang naman po yan. Makakapag-aral na tayo ng GeoGebra. I pasted the link to the survey in the chat box. Pwede nyo nang i-click from the chat box. So I'll give you until 10:30 to do this, no? And I'll close the Google form. After 10:30, hindi nyo na po yan ma-access. So please answer the Google form now. Okay, we need 10 more. Only 20 teachers have filled out the form. Iman na lang. Okay, so isa na lang. Sige, I'll extend 2 more minutes para matapos, baka mabagal yung internet. Bakit 31 tayo? Di ba 30 lang tayo? Sir Jerry, please double check the attendance, no? Yung tingnan natin kung ano baka.
May doble.
May doble ba? Hindi.
Oh, meron eh.
We can check the Google form later.
Ay, yes sir, yung ano ko po, yung Zoom ko po. Naka-join po yung laptop ko.
Hindi po sa Zoom, yung sa ating survey. Anyway, we can double check later and coordinate with the SDO. All right, so let's start our session. Okay, so this is the learning the basics of GeoGebra course and our presentation outline. We'll discuss a bit about GeoGebra, the parts of GeoGebra. I'll show you some applets to show the capabilities of GeoGebra, and we'll discuss why we chose GeoGebra over other. Okay, so GeoGebra is a dynamic mathematics software for teaching and learning mathematics. And one of its major advantages is that it runs on major operating systems, no? Like Windows, Mac, Linux, or if you're using tablets or phones, it runs on iOS and Android. So halos lahat ng mga devices natin, no? Pwede nating gamitan ng GeoGebra. Okay? So this is the parts of GeoGebra. Siguro maganda i-open ko yung GeoGebra para makita nyo talaga. No? All right. So I'll share. All right. So when you open GeoGebra for the first time, this is what you will see. This is the GeoGebra user interface. On the left side of the window, this is called the input bar. This is where you type the equations. This is called the algebra view. So everything you do on this drawing pad, we call this a graphics view. The equivalent algebraic representations can be seen on the algebra view. So for example, if I draw a line, all the objects on the graphics view have their algebraic representation. So here we have 2 points. The algebraic representation contains the name and the coordinates of the points. So if I move the points here, for example, I move it to -4, -2. So you can see the coordinates here. It's -4, -2. No? And aside from the 2 points, we also have the line. No? And on the algebra view, you can see also the equation of the line. So as you can see, GeoGebra supports multiple representation, and I think this is one of its advantages. No? And if you have used Sketchpad before, I think it doesn't have this feature, no. So hindi lang ako sure kung nag-upgrade na yung Sketchpad because I stopped using it after discovering GeoGebra. Makita ko na exit. Okay, so on the right side, you can see the style bar. So ito yung style bar natin. You can click on this, and this contains the properties of the object. So you can change the color, the size. And here at the top right is the menu box. So if you want to save your file, export your construction as an image, you share it on different social media platforms. If you want to download and if you want to print, you can use this menu box at the top right of the window. GeoGebra also contains different perspectives. So this is important because we will be using this. We will be using 2 perspectives in this course, the graphing and the geometry perspective. So what you see is called the graphing perspective, and if you choose geometry, so makikita nyo, all the other windows are gone. No? So just a blank graphics view where you can construct your drawings. Right. So if you want to change the perspective, you can go again to the, you can click on the menu box and then choose the perspective that you want. Right. Okay. Next, I want to share with you some of the applets to show you the capabilities of GeoGebra. So you can do a lot of things. You can do geometric construction, you can do animation, you can do 3D, no? You can do augmented reality. So I'll show you some of the applets that I've created. This is one example. I think this is for elementary school or probably for grade 7. So students can use the tool to measure the angle. So you can generate random angles and then you can use GeoGebra to measure angle. And then you can type the angle here. So ilan nga ba? Tama ba yung ating sukat? Ilan sa tingin nyo? Around 100, around 52, 53? Let's say 52. So correct siya. That's one. This one, yung tinatanong kanina ni ma'am, no? Yung pwede ba sa statistics. So this is a simulation of rolling a die, 2 dice, and tallying the sum. So you can clear the data, you can roll dice. So ito yung probability distribution, di ba? Okay. Here's another one. Makikita nyo naman po, no, yung screen. We're teaching conic sections. Ito mabagal siya, no? Mabagal ang 3D. I think a lot of windows are open, so check again. Yata 3D yung ating na-open, no? But here's another example. So, showing squaring a binomial represented geometrically. So pag 2D medyo ano siya, medyo mabilis. No? Right? So you can change the size, no? And then you can use the sliders to rearrange the shapes and show that a plus b quantity squared is equal to b squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay. So these are some of the examples, and there are a lot of examples. No? Ito naman ay if you're teaching nets, no, nets of solids. This is 3 dimensions, no. Although we will not use this in this, we will not learn this in this course. This shows you that you can really do a lot of things using GeoGebra. Ayun niya. Anyway, you can explore later, no? All right, so kayo naman ngayon. Masyado na kami ng ating sinasabi. So, kayo naman ang gagamit ng GeoGebra ngayon. All right, so for our first activity, by the way, before that, Let me have my last slide. So why did we choose GeoGebra over other platforms? No? First, it's free and it's open source. No? And kanina nabanggit, it runs on major operating systems. Third, it runs on multiple computers, tablets, and mobile phones. It links numbers, geometry, algebra, and spreadsheet. So meron siyang spreadsheet na kasama, no? Although hindi natin maaaral ngayon. No? Our course is really scratching the surface of GeoGebra. Once you finish the course, pwede nyo aralin yung mga ibang features. And course 2, GeoGebra course 2 is currently being developed. We will be offering GeoGebra course 2 probably next year. So pwede namin kayong invite ulit. And hopefully maka-attend kayo. All right, so for the first activity, to give you a bit of how to use the software. So you can open GeoGebra and try doing this. No? So you will be using 3 tools, the point tool, the line segment tool, and the midpoint tool. Sige nga, try natin. Try nyo muna bago natin tignan paano gawin. Okay, so ito siya, no? Ang gagamitin ninyong tools, you have the point tool, you have the midpoint tool, and the line segment tool. So anong gagawin? Gagawa kayo ng triangle, and then you draw midpoints using the midpoint tool, and then you draw the midline. Okay, sige nga, tignan natin. Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes to explore on your own, and then later, gagawin natin. No? And after that, we will learn how to use the Google Classroom para isubmit nyo yung inyong ginawa. Okay, so sige nga, I'll give you 3 minutes to do the activity. And then maybe we can ask someone to present how did she construct the triangle. All right, so may gusto po ba mag-volunteer how you created the triangle with the midline? Anyone? Anyone? Sino ang may nag-raise ba ng hand? Parang may nag-raise ng hand. Si Sir Vittorio. Do you want to share your screen, sir?
Hello po. Oh, yes po. Apa. Kung
Yes,
okay
please.
lang po. Okay po.
Kim lang ito, yung activity na ito, no? Sa susunod, you'll do this.
So, yan po yun. Ganyan po ba yung gagawin? Tama po ba? So,
okay.
Yan po yung nagawa kong triangle. And yung ginawa ko pong setup is, delete natin yung mga nagawa ko. To create the triangle po, punta po doon sa parang upper portion, sa upper left part. And then makikita niyo yung parang picture na may triangle. And then I clicked the polygon figure. And then pag na-click na yon, pipili ka na ng lugar kung saan mo gusto ipatong yung point. So kunwari, gusto ko siya ipatong dito. So meron na ako isang point dyan. And then maghihingi pa siya ng isa pa location kung saan niya idudugtong. So pili ka ulit ng location. So lagay ko dito. And then another point where I would like to connect it here. Ayan. And then since triangle lang yung gusto kong gawin, I have to go back to the original point where it all started. So click. Ayan. Now nakagawa na ako ng triangle. And as regards to the midpoint po, dun sa upper left part po ulit, dun sa parang mga options, meron pong parang tatlong dots doon. And yung second option, makikita may tatlong dots. And then sa ilalim niya, makikita nyo yung midpoint or center. So pag clinic mo yon, pag clinic, you will be asked to choose a line eh. Ngayon, kahit na anong part na ng line yon, automatic igigitna niya na yung point nun. Kuwari, dito niyan sa segment AB, gusto ko hanapin yung midpoint. Kahit saan na dyan, pupuntahan niya automatic yung gitna. And then pagdating sa segment CB, yung gitna, hahanapin niya na po. So yun po. Ganun po yung ginawa kong procedure po.
Okay, so very good. Si Sir, no? Although na hindi malinaw yung instruction ko, no? Midpoint and the midline. No? So I don't know if you're familiar with the midline. Yung mga nagtuturo ng geometry, I'm sure familiar sila. No? So that's one way, no, yung ginamit ni Sir. Another way is to use the line segment tool. And ito na yung, actually, ito yung first activity natin na supposed to be gagawin ninyo. Later, ipapakita ko sa inyo sa Google Classroom kung paano siya gagawin. No? Let me share my screen. All right, so again, ito yung makikita natin when we open GeoGebra for the first time. So this time for activity 1, we will be using the geometry perspective. So when you open GeoGebra, you can see this perspective window here. You can just choose geometry. No? Pero pag bigla yan nawala, you can go to the menu box and then go to perspective. And then you can choose geometry here again. So what Sir earlier had created is also correct. No, that's also another way. But you can also use the line segment tool. So pwede tayong point muna. So, ito yung point tool. You can create 3 points. No? And using the move tool, you can actually move these points. No? Ang pagkakamali usually pag mga bago sa GeoGebra, hindi nila ginagamit yung move tool. No? So pag naka-point kasi siya, every time you click on the graphics view, gagawa siya ng point. Kaya hindi mo siya makagamit sa pagdadrag. Mas maganda kung gagamitin natin yung move tool. Then you can also click on the line segment to connect the points. No? So A and B, for example, and then B and C, and then C and A. So pag kunwari idadrag ko siya, hindi siya madadrag, gagawa siya ng line segment. No? That's why you have to click on the move tool para natin siya ma-move yung object. So you can use the undo button here at the top. The top right may undo button dyan. You can just click the undo button if you made a mistake. Then you can click on the move tool. You can actually move the points, no? Diba? Pwede mag-move ng points. You can move the line segments, of course. Yan. All right. And then you can also move the window. Pwede ring window yung i-move natin. Okay? And then we create the midpoints. So A, B, for example. So you can click on the 2 points. Or kaya yung sinabi ni Sir kanina, you can also click on the line segment. So pwedeng dalawang points. If you click on the line segment tool, on the midpoint tool, meron siyang label sa baba. Ano? Nakikita niyo, di ba? Ano sabi niya? Midpoint. Sorry, nawala na siya. So meron siyang parang help. Ang tawag sa kanya yung tooltip. No? So if you click on the midpoint or center, so sabi niya, select 2 points, a line segment, a circle, or a point. So meron siyang help kung paano siya gamitin. So here, we created the point P by clicking on 2 points, yung A and B, and we created point E by clicking on the segment. So wala namang problema dyan, pareho namang tama yan. And then when you drag the vertices of the triangle, you can see that the midpoint, of course, adjusts. No? So syempre, nandun siya sa gitna. Pag mahaba yung line segment natin, susunod din siya. No? And then we can use again the line segment to connect the 2 vertices or the 2 midpoints. No? Okay? So ayan na. Ano kaya sa tingin niyo yung mapapansin ng estudyante dyan? No? Anyone? Pag minove ko kaya to, for example, estudyante ako, ano kaya ang una kong mapapansin? What do you observe about the figure? Anyone? Wala ba kayo napapansin? Alright, so pag-uusapan natin yan later, no? Pag-uusapan natin yung math doon sa ating discussion. But as of now, tapos na ako gumawa ng applet. Ang tawag pala sa GeoGebra file, usually tawag natin sa kanya applet, apple na may T. No? So you can create the applet, upload it on the web, and let your students explore. So applet ang tawag natin sa kanya. So paano na ngayon tapos ko na siya? Siyempre, isi-save ko yung file, di ba? I'll save the file. And how do we save the file? We click on the menu bar, menu box, and then click on File, and then Download As. Pwede kayong mag-save. You can use the Save button, pero kailangan nyo ng GeoGebra account. No? Pag ito. Pag connected kayo sa web, automatic na isi-save niya doon sa account niyo pag kayo ay naka-login. Pero this time, dahil I think many of you are offline most of the time, I can just click on Download As and then type my activity name, activity 1, for example, and then click on Save. I can just save it somewhere. So, hanap na lang kayo ng place kung saan nyo isi-save, folder, and then click on Save. May na-save na yata akong activity 1. Alright, so paano na ngayon? Paano na natin siya isa-submit sa Google Classroom? No? So kailangan mag-login kayo sa Google Classroom ninyo. Before we log in, anong makikita pala niyo sa Google Classroom? No? We can I'll show you the classwork. I think some of you have already, most of you have already enrolled. So if you go to your Google Classroom, this is a teacher's window. No? Makikita ninyo yung date and the activities that you will do. For example, sa November 11, meron tayong meeting na 8:45 a.m. So the links here are, this is the link that you will use for the entire training. Pwede nyo nang kopyahin yan and i-save. Nagawa na natin yung survey on the use of GeoGebra. And na-introduce na rin yung GeoGebra, but we will discuss this a bit. And ito yung inyong activities. For activity 1, for example, yung ginawa natin, this is the activity sheet, no? So pag kinlik nyo yan, ito yung makikita ninyo. Pwede nyo yan i-download. This is the detailed instruction of how to use the activity. So if you can do the activity on your own, walang problema kasi may marunong na sa GeoGebra, no? But if you are not familiar, no, you can use the detailed instructions at the bottom. No? And then you can reflect on the questions for discussion. Ito yung i-discuss natin. Hindi lang tayo gagawa ng applet. I-discuss din natin both the math and the pedagogy, bakit ganun yung pagkakagawa ng activity. Ano yung math and what's the mathematics behind it. So yan yung i-discuss natin sa susunod na synchronous session. And even if you know, how to construct the applet, we strongly suggest that you read the activity kasi may mga details na hindi nyo makikita pag kayo lang yung gumawa. No? Baka may mapulot pa kayo na bago. Especially if yung may mga part na supplement, no? These are additional information about the activity. Right? And aside from that, meron din tayong video. No? As you can see from here, sabi niya, if you have some knowledge using GeoGebra, construct the figure on your own, but if you are having difficulties, proceed to for the procedure or watch the video tutorial here. So kung nahirapan kayo, you just click the link. Pupunta yan sa YouTube and masusundan ninyo kung paano ginawa yung activity 1. So nandun na lahat, nandun na lahat para sa inyo. Kailangan na lang ay time to explore the software. For the activities, we expect you to perfect yung construction kasi may video tutorial siya. Parang wala tayong excuse para maging mali kasi very detailed na yung instruction tapos may video tutorial pa siya. So sana ma-perfect natin kasi yung scores natin ay merong corresponding number of hours. No? So later papaliwanag din natin yan. Alright? So maglalagin lang ako as student. Kung makikita nyo, kasama nyo ako din sa I have another account as student para makita nyo kung ano yung makikita ng estudyante at kung paano mag-submit ng applet. No? So ang pagsasubmit ng applet, you have to upload first doon sa GeoGebra website. No? So yan yung reason kung bakit ang nasa email namin sa inyo ay you have to register a GeoGebra account. No? So paano yun? Sana nakapag-register na, no? But I think you have the time later. You can reconstruct the applet. Okay, so let me share the GeoGebra So pag pumunta kayo sa geogebra.org, nakalagin na kasi ako, no? You can register a GeoGebra account. And once you created your applet, makikita yan dito. Yung mga ginawa ninyo, no? If you publish your applets. No? And this is where you publish, this is where you will upload your applet bago nyo siya isubmit sa GeoGebra Classroom. Ang reason naman ito ay para isang click na lang ng mga facilitators, pupunta na siya dun sa applet nyo. Pag sinabit nyo kasi siya as file, maraming masyadong steps, no? So, ang gagawin ng facilitator, ita-download pa niya from Google Drive, and then open, the facilitator will open GeoGebra, and then, i-open pa yung file. So, that's one of the reasons. And also, another reason is para matuto din kayo gumamit nitong GeoGebra website. Kasi, dito nyo naman talaga ilalagay yung applet ninyo later pag gagamitin nyo sa inyong klase. No? So, you can store your applets here, and if your students are online, you can just give them the link, no? Para i-explore yung applet. Alright, so paano? No? Let me check kung yung activity 1. Paano natin i-upload yung activity 1? Ang ginawa natin kanina. Give me a moment. Gagawin niyo tong step na to later, so please pay attention to the steps, no? Kasi medyo mahaba siya. Give me one moment kasi Sir Alan, kailangan ko yata mag-restart muna.
Bakit?
Nagkakaproblema yung GeoGebra.
Okay.
Restart lang ako ng computer, so
sige.
Kung ano nila, habang nagre-restart ako, baka pwede silang mag-register ng account, yung mga hindi pa nagre-register.
Sige, magre-register na lang muna kayo ng account nyo. Sige po.
So you can go to geogebra.org and then create your GeoGebra account para mamaya, kasi mamaya yung gagawin ko na step ngayon, gagawin nyo ito mamaya later to submit activity 1.
Sige. Sige po, gawin nyo na lang po yung pag-register. So, kung may tanong po, sige, tanong na lang po kayo. Okay lang po ba kayo?
Yes po, sir. Sir, bali po yung ginawa po namin is magda-direct na po siya niyan na masisend sa inyo. Maikiklik lang po kami. No?
Later po, kasi mamaya pag nagawa nyo na using geogebra.org, save nyo kasi doon eh. Tapos may instruction naman po mamaya kasi you need to copy the link and then ilalagay nyo po yun sa Google Classroom na submission form. So may ano pa po, detalye si Sir JR mamaya.
Okay po, thank you po.
All right, so I'm back. Sorry for that. Okay, so don't worry, no? I will give you 30 minutes to do this later, tapos tutulungan namin kayo step by step. Sa first activity lang naman itong medyo mabagal, no? Once you have already submitted one file, it will be easier for you to submit later. No? So, bakit hindi ko siya Alright. Alright, so paano na tayo magsasubmit, no? For example, isasubmit ko itong ginawa kong activity 1. How do I submit that in Google Classroom? In GeoGebra website. Bago tayo mag-submit ng link sa Google Classroom, we have to upload that to the GeoGebra website. So yung first na gagawin ninyo is to resize the applet. Ano ba yung gusto nyong itsura ng applet kapag ma-upload na siya? So kung malaking-malaki yung window nyo, kagaya nito, malaki din yung applet pag in-upload din nyo siya sa GeoGebra website. No? So maybe I can share my entire screen. Paano mag-share ng entire? So, pwede ba? Ayun. Nakita niyo na yung buong screen, no? So you have to resize your applet, no? Dapat medyo maliit siya, no? Ano ang advantage kung maliit? Yung mga estudyante na gumagamit ng phones, ng cellphone, ma-view nila, no? Kasi kung masyadong malapad yung applet natin, masyadong malaki, for example, ay hindi rin siya makikita. Kailangan mag-scroll, no, ng mga estudyante sidewards or sideways para makita nila yung buong applet. So if possible, kung hindi naman kailangan, baka pwedeng maliit lang, kagaya nung nakikita ninyo sa window. So for example, gusto nyo ganito kalaki. And then you save it as another file. No? Merong bug ang GeoGebra, hindi pa nila na-troubleshoot. Pero hindi nyo makapatungan yung dati mong sinave na file. So I suggest you create another file name. So for example, activity 1. Pag na-resize na ninyo. And then you just delete the old file if you want. So 1A, ito na yung maliit. No? Okay? Yan na yung maliit. Alright, so paano na natin ito i-upload? We have to go to geogebra.org. lipat ako sa geogebra.org. Okay. Punta ako sa geogebra.org. Right? And then I go to my profile. Makikita nyo naman yan pag naka-register na kayo. Once you log in, ay pag kinlik nyo yung nasa top right, may picture ako kasi nilagyan ko na, pero usually start ng pangalan nyo yan. And then how do I upload activity 1A na ginawa ko kanina? So I have to click on create. Ano i-create natin? Click on upload, no? And then I'll choose the file. Kanina yung activity 1A. Ayan. And then, ayun, na-upload na siya. Okay? So, ito yung magiging itsura niya. Ayan, maliit lang siya. Medyo maliit siya. Hindi siya kanina na malapad. You can type the title here. For example, activity 1. And then, dito sa baba, you can actually add elements. So, pwede kayo mag-add ng text below and after, no? Before and after the applet. So for example, lalagyan nyo siya ng instruction, for example. Pero pag nag-submit na kayo ng activity nyo, hindi nyo kailangan lagyan ng text. But if you're doing, if you're using the applet for your students, so usually yung nakalagay sa taas yung instruction. So for example, drag points A, B, and C. Yan yung gagawin ng estudyante. Yun yung instruction mo sa taas. Tapos yung sa baba, mag-add ka ulit ng element and then dito mo ilalagay yung mga tanong mo. So for example, questions. What do you observe? Ganun yung questions. Dito nalagay yung mga questions niyo. About the figure, for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pwede kayo maglagay ng questions dyan. Pero pag nag-submit kayo, hindi na kailangan. For example, for activity 1, hindi na ito kailangan. You don't need to add the text. Ang activity na yan, kung naka-enroll na kayo sa GeoGebra, makikita naman yan sa pangalan niyo. No? So, for the visibility, you can choose private or shared with a link. Dapat shared with a link kayo kaya para masubmit nyo sa amin. No? So, you can type the tags if you want your applets to be searchable. So yung tags, yung mga keywords no, na about the applets. For example, triangle, midline theorem, etc. No? O midpoints. And then, pagtapos na, pwede na i-save and i-close. Right. So, nandito na siya. Kung makikita nyo, shared with a link siya. Pag shared with a link, ang makikita lang yan, yung bibigyan nyo ng link. No? Pero pag naka-public, makikita yan ng kahit sino na pumunta doon sa profile ninyo. So, para din itong social media na may profile din. And then, if you want it to be public, you can just click on the three dots here and then click publish. Okay? So ano ang isasubmit nyo sa amin? Ang isasubmit nyo sa amin sa Google Classroom, i-click nyo yung applet ninyo and then you click on the link, yung link sa taas. So kaka-copy and paste niyo yan. Yan yung isasubmit niyo doon sa Google Classroom. Right? So pagdating sa Google Classroom, medyo mahaba yung yung steps pero meron tayong meron tayong tutorial na nasa Google Classroom mismo, papakita ko sa inyo later. So let me log into my student account. After nito, gagawin nyo na ito. 11:30 to 12. This is your activity. Kayo na ang gagawa. Mag-submit. Okay, so nagkakaproblema yung aking email. So while I'm troubleshooting, I suggest that you create na your triangle with midline as a practice exercise. Tapos mamaya sabay-sabay tayo mag-upload. Okay po ba yon? So you just repeat the activity. You go to your Google Classroom and then follow the steps. Kung hindi nyo naalala yung kanina, watch the YouTube video. We'll give you 10 minutes to do it and then sabay-sabay tayo mag-upload para makita nyo rin yung steps. No? Sabay-sabay natin i-upload sa Google Classroom. Thank you. Itin natin. Okay, so for example, okay, so again, we will use the point tool to create 3 points. Actually, pwede nang diretso na ano yan na line segment. So. And then create or draw segment AB, segment BC, and then segment AC. And then midpoint tool, pwedeng dalawang points or you can click on the line segment. Right? And then click ko yung midpoints para mag-draw ko yung midline. So, ayan. And then what will I do? I will size my applet before saving para hindi na ako mag-open mamaya. So, ko. Okay, so resize ko na siya and position my drawing doon sa bandang gitna. The students can see it. Okay. You can drag the labels, by the way. No? Pwede nyo i-drag yung labels. Right? And then I'll save again. So, download as. Then I'll type the file name. So mag-activity 1B na lang ako para hindi mapatunan yung one. Okay. Okay, so dapat na ano na kayo, natapos nyo na yan. And after that, sabay-sabay tayong mag-upload ulit sa GeoGebra para matuto kayo kung paano mag-upload step by step. So I'll give you 5 more minutes to finish the applet. Yung hindi pa po makakasabay ngayon, I think there are some of you na nag-private message having problems with their GeoGebra account. Pwede nyo na pong gawin yan later. Pero be sure to submit before 8 p.m. Pag late submission po, may bawas po yan sa score. No? Later, pag-usapan natin yung rubric ng mga activities and practice exercises after, before we end the session. Basta na-save nyo na, pwede na tayo mag-upload after that. Dapat tapos nyo na itong nakikita nyo sa screen. Dapat ganyan na siya. Para pag nag-upload kayo, kompleto na. Opo. May nagtanong po, sabi niya, bale after po gawin ng try ang download as. Pagkatapos ng download as, you type the file name, no? Para ma-save nyo siya as the GGB file. So, katulad ng ginawa ko po kanina, sige ulitin natin. Okay, so pagkatapos nyo na po gawin yung maybe I should share the entire screen. Ay, nakikita nyo na po ba yung applet? So pag natapos nyo na po gawin yung applet ninyo, you click on the menu bar, menu box. Sanay ako sa menu bar ang ano. Okay. Click on the menu box, download as, and then choose GeoGebra file. So ito yung i-upload natin sa GeoGebra website. So again, you type the name, and then save nyo siya. 1C na ako. Hindi ko nang patungan yung ano. Ayan, 1C. And then, save. Okay. Diba? Okay, so sana malinaw. Yung mga tapos na po, can you raise your hands para may idea tayo kung ilan yung tapos na? Tapos na i-save yung applet nila. Flow, 4. Oo, para may idea tayo. Walo pa lang. What about the others? Okay, so sige, 3 more minutes. Kung hindi kayang humabol, meron pa naman mamaya. Meron tayong tutorial sa Google Classroom, papakita ko mamaya. All right, so while you're doing your applet, if you go to your Google Classroom, if you go to your account, dun sa classwork, makikita nyo sa taas, nandito yung mga yung mga frequently asked questions. So yung steps na how do I save my applet, ito siya. Panoorin nyo na lang yung video. So these are the same steps that I did earlier. Tapos, how do I upload my applet? Ito naman yung uploading of the applet to the GeoGebra website. And ito yung how do I submit my applet? So, isa-submit nyo sa Google Classroom. So meron namang video dito in case na hindi nyo makabisado yung steps. You can watch the video. These are very, very short videos, mga 1 minute to 2 minutes siguro. So you can watch that later kung hindi kayo makahabol ngayon. Alright, ulitin natin yung step, no? Paano mag-upload ulit sa GeoGebra website. Okay, so GeoGebra. So pag meron na kayong GeoGebra account, you go to geogebra.org. Punta kayo sa geogebra.org. And then dapat naka-login kayo, no, para kayo makapag-upload. So you click on your profile picture or your profile image doon sa top right. Bilog yan. Kung wala pang picture, usually letter yan, letter ng pangalan niyo. And then you go to create. Click on the create button and then upload. Okay, tapos hanapin natin sa computer yung file. So 1C for example. And then click on, automatic na siya dati, click on upload. And then ito na. Just type the title, PPT1. And then hindi na natin kailangan lagyan ng element. So save and close. You want to put tags, you can put tags, but it's not required. Save and close. Right? So babalik yan sa ano nyo, sa profile ninyo, and then you click on that activity. And ito naman yung isa-submit natin sa Google Classroom. Alright? So paano naman? Paano naman tayo magsasubmit sa Google Classroom? So you go to your Google account and then log into Google Classroom. Saan natin yung isa-submit? Sasubmit natin dun sa activity. So kahit hindi nyo pala makita yung yung schedule, nakikita na ninyo kung kailan siya due. Yung due date. So hindi pala mamaya. Bukas pa naman ng alas 8 ng gabi yung due date natin nitong activity na to. Pero syempre kung mas submit nyo siya ng mas maaga, the better. Okay, so you go to the activity, click on the activity, click on view assignment. Yon. Saan natin siya isa-submit? Sasubmit natin siya dito, your work. You can click on add or create. Ito yung common mistake. Do not click on Google Drive. No? Papaulit namin sa inyo yan kasi yun nga, ida-download pa namin yan pa Google Drive. You click on the link. So, etong link, tsaka anong gagawin nyo? Ipipaste nyo lang to. Ipaste nyo lang to. Copy, and then paste. And then add link. Ulitin ko po pag nag-add or create, do not click on the Google Drive. Click on the link icon. So you go to your GeoGebra applet. Ulitin ko. So pag nakita nyo na, pag nakalagin na kayo sa profile ninyo, i-click nyo ang applet ninyo and then you click on the link sa taas, copy. And then, punta kayo sa Google Classroom, balik. Punta kayo dun sa corresponding activity na gusto mong i-submit. Classwork. Yan. Mali yata yung na-click ko. View assignment. And then, add or create. Link. And then paste, and then add link. Okay, so ito na yon. Pag nakikita nyo na yung activity dyan, ibig sabihin naka-upload na siya. and then you click on turn in. Ibig sabihin ng turn in, isasubmit na ninyo yan, yung inyong assignment, no? Or activity. So turn in, yes. So paano i-grade yung inyong, paano i-scorean yung inyong activity? Ito yung rubric. Applet is complete without auxiliary objects. Later papaliwanag ko yan. Applet is complete with auxiliary objects. Yan yung corresponding points. No applet was submitted. 0 syempre. No? And correctness. The applet passed the drag test. Applet did not pass the drag test. No applet was submitted. And very important din yung punctuality. Yung sinasabi ko kanina na pag on time, 3 points. Pag late, 2 points. If you have submitted your applet na na-discuss na yung sagot, maliit na yung point niya syempre kasi na-discuss na yung sagot. So as much as possible, lalo na yung mga activities, kasi may video naman, hindi naman kayo mahirapan gawin. So you submit on time para perfect yung inyong score. No? The scores will have corresponding number of hours. No? I-discuss natin later yan, yung number of hours ng scores. So pag mababa yung score nyo, mababa yung number of hours. So we will discuss the details later. Okay, so ganun lang mag-submit. So you have, yung mga kaya na mag-submit, you still have until 11:37, 11:50. So we'll give you 13 minutes to upload your file doon sa GeoGebra and then submit your file sa Google Classroom. Alright? So kung meron kayong tanong, nandito lang kami. We will help you. Just raise your hand o kaya pwede nyo kayong can use your microphone and then pwede naman kayong magsabi na lang kung saan kayo nagkakaproblema. Okay po, so give you 13 minutes to upload your file and then we'll discuss the rubric before we end our session.
Sir, excuse me po.
Yes, ma'am? Naka-mute po kayo.
Yes po, sir. Sir, paano po kasi i-resize po ulit, sir?
Yung ano po ninyo. Pwede, para po kayo nagre-resize din ng window. No? Sige po, i-demonstrate po.
So, pero kahit hindi na po siya i-resize, sir?
Sa ngayon po, hindi naman kailangan kasi hindi naman hindi naman siya for your students eh. Pero later kasi, kung sa estudyante nyo na siya, gagamitin, no? If the students will use the applet, mas maganda na kasya sa phone. So usually mga 900 pixels would be optimal siguro. Mga 900 pixels or 800 pixels yung width. Bali yung height kasi na ano naman yung height. Nasuscroll naman. Nandito lang po kami. If you have questions, pwede kayo magtanong anytime. Resume tayo ng 11:50. Okay lang kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-submit kasi the deadline will be on November 12, 8 p.m. So be sure that you have submitted all the activities. Actually po lahat ng activities 1, 2, and 3 and practice exercises 1, 2, and 3 ay deadline siya sa November 12, 8 p.m. Kailan i-discuss yan yung mga activities na yan? I-discuss natin yan sa Monday ba, Sir Alan? I think sa Monday, no? Okay. So, let me share my...
Monday.
Share my screen again. I-post namin later yung schedule sa FB. And you can also check your Google Classroom. Alright, so again, yung mga medyo nahirapan sa mga steps, nandito naman na lahat yan. How do I save my applet on my computer? How do I upload my applet? Upload dun sa GeoGebra Classroom, no? how do I submit my applet? Nandito lahat ng steps. No? So you can review that later if you're having a hard time following the steps. And ito, marami nang submit. Ayan, 19 na.
Meron pa daw hindi naka-join sa Google Classroom.
Dapat mag-join na.
Si Ma'am Sablan.
Parang ang dami natin sa Google Classroom. Baka i-check po natin, baka hindi kayo kasama sa official list yung mga ibang naka-join, no? So kailangan natin mag-coordinate sa
Ma'am Sablan, ano pong problema? Ma'am Andrea.
Naka-raise pa siya ng hand.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon po.
Sige po.
Hello po.
Yes, ma'am.
Sensya na po, sir. Nasa school po kasi medyo multitasking ka lang po. Nakaka-problem lang po ako dito sa laptop ko, sir.
Okay.
Opo. Pero yung nagawa ko na yung pinapagawa niyo po, ang problema po, yung sa classroom, hindi po ako maka-join. Yung code po,
sige po.
Pag nag-join po ako using the code, ayaw po. And then,
anong gamit yung email address?
yung pong personal po, yung
Email.
sa DepEd, opo.
Okay.
Ay, hindi siya DepEd, ma'am, ha? Hindi DepEd.
Hindi po, sir.
Okay.
Tapos sa Google, opo.
Sige, ma'am. Tuloy niyo po. May
Yun
isasabihin.
po, sir. Pag mag-join po, ayaw po niya.
O, check natin later. Pag hindi pa rin, paki-message na lang kami sa Google, sa Facebook page natin. Pwede nyo kaming itag para makita namin kaagad. No? So, we're also monitoring the FB group. No? If you have some problems, if you need help, just post your questions on the FB group and then tag us. No? And we'll try to answer as soon as possible. Now, kung makikita nyo ay nakapost na yung activity 2, practice exercise 1, practice exercise 2, activity 3, tsaka practice exercise 3. May mga video po yan. No? So, hindi actually kayo mahihirapan kasi may mga 1 to 2 minute video na talagang detailed na pinapakita kung paano gawin yung activity. But you still have to read the activity kasi nga may mga details dyan na hindi naman natin nare-discuss sa video. Yung video ay silent video lang siya. No? So, walang sounds. Pinapakita lang kung paano gawin yung applet. No? So, lahat ito, hindi ko pa nalalagyan, but lahat ito 8 p.m. tomorrow ang due. So, be sure to submit the applets and the discussion. Makikita nyo November 15, hindi pa napopost. But we will post the link, no, for the meeting. We will be using the same link. Kung anong ginamit natin ngayon dito sa meeting na to, yan na yung link natin. Yan na yung Zoom link natin for the entire training. Hindi yung link kanina, iba yung link sa iba yung link sa opening program. Yung link natin ngayon na ginamit, that will be the link for the entire training. So magkakaroon tayo ng Zoom meeting sa November 15. Huwag po kayong malilate kasi maganda yung discussion. Sa discussion actually, lumalabas yung beauty ng GeoGebra at beauty ng mathematics. No? So be sure na huwag kayong malilate. Kung magkakaroon kayo ng program, pwede rin naman. No? Dapat 8:45 na doon na kayo para yung program ninyo ay matatapos siya ng 9 o'clock. Kasi sayang kung kakainin yung oras natin ng 9 o'clock. So medyo mabagal lang tayo sa first day kasi hindi nyo pa masyadong kabisado. But during the other days, magkakaroon tayo ng mga magagandang discussions about your activities. No? Lastly, I want to... sorry, mukhang mag-overtime tayo ng mga 5 minutes lang siguro. No? Let me introduce the rubric, no, para alam nyo kung paano i-check, paano i-score yung inyong work. Saan na ba yung ating rubric? Ito nakita nyo na yung kanina, no? Bakit nawala? Dito na lang sa Google Classroom. Okay, dito na lang natin titingnan sa Google Classroom. So, dalawa yung types ng activities na i-score natin. Yung, syempre, yung activity ninyo and yung practice exercise. Mas mataas yung practice exercise ng 5 points. So, if you look at the rubric, we have appropriateness, completeness, correctness, and punctuality. So, sa appropriateness, tama ba yung tools na ginamit ninyo, di ba? And are the tools used appropriately, no? So, later, pag nag-discuss tayo, malalaman niyo to sa activity 2. Hindi ko muna sasabihin, but kailan ba dapat ginagamit yung correct tools, no? Applet is complete. For example, sa mga previous activities namin, doon sa activity 1, gumawa siya ng triangle, gumawa siya ng midpoint, pero hindi naman niya kinonect yung dalawang midpoints, so walang midline. So, hindi yun complete, di ba? Applet is not complete, 2 points lang yun. Tapos, pag may mga applet na maraming nakalagay na hindi naman kailangan, ano siya, with the auxiliary object siya. Ibig sabihin, dapat yung mga unneeded objects, naka-hide siya. No? Pag-aaralan natin yan. Ano ba yung drug test? Tsaka, ano ba ibig sabihin pag nakapasa sa drug test tsaka hindi nakapasa sa drug test? No? Let me have one. Halimbawa, pag pinagawa kayo ng square, let me share my screen. Nine. Okay, sorry. Let me share my screen. Halimbawa, no, ang activity ay paggawa ng square. No? Gawa kayo ng square. So, one of you created this square. No? Yan, pag dinrag natin siya, square siya palagi. Kahit anong i-drag natin na points. Pero yung isa naman ay gumawa siya ng square, pero pag dinrag ko to, hindi na siya square. So ito, pasado siya sa drag test. Kasi kahit anong gawin mo sa kanya, square siya. Pero itong isa, hindi siya pasado sa drag test. Yun yung sinasabi doon sa rubric na yun. No? Alright, so yun yung ibig sabihin ng drag test. What else? I think na-discuss na naman, no? Na-discuss ko na naman yung completeness. So pag may mga objects na hindi naman pinapalagay, no? For example, tas maraming objects, mababawasan siya dun sa sa completeness, no? Ano yung appropriateness? Pag pinagawa kayo ng applet, tapos ang pinaka-measure ay interior angle, tapos ay ang naka-measure naman ay exterior, no? So, hindi siya correct tools kasi angle tool yung ginamit, pero hindi siya appropriate doon sa activity. Okay? So, pag may mga comments kami, ilalagay naman namin yun sa comments kung bakit ganun yung number of points, no? Pag may quest, kung halimbawa hindi malinaw, lalagyan naman namin yung explanation bakit ganun yung points na nakuha ninyo. No? So we will be talking more about the rubrics on Monday, no, para maintindihan nyo paano nilalagyan na score, para malinaw din. All right, so again, tomorrow, wala tayong session. We will do the activities. Kung maalala nyo sa schedule natin, meron tayong synchronous and asynchronous sessions. So the asynchronous sessions give you time to do your activities, no? To reflect on the questions for discussion, no? Pag-isipan niyo yung questions for discussion kasi yun ang gagamitin natin sa discussion sa Monday, no? So mas maganda kung may sagot na kayo, i-note yung mga sagot niyo. Although hindi na siya iskuran, but di ba, as teachers, kailangan we reflect on what we do, no? I think that's very important. Right, so I think nag-overtime tayo ng 3 minutes before we end. Si Sir Alan, meron ka pa bang sasabihin? Or si Sir Jerry, merong announcement?
Wala na ako. Basta ano lang, just wait for the schedule to be posted at FB page or mismo doon sa Google Classroom. To take note of the deadlines also.
Sir Jerry, meron kang announcement?
Wala naman po. Finalize lang namin yung list of participants, official list.
Okay, no? So sana lahat ng participants dito ay nasa official list, no? Pag hindi kasi, kailangan nating makipag-coordinate sa inyong supervisor ba or someone in charge, no, of the training. All right? So okay po ba kayo? Wala na kayong sasabihin? Anyone? Any comment from the group? From the participants? May gusto po bang magsalita? Impression of the new knowledge? No? Isa or dalawang teachers before we end, or pag may gusto, no? Walang mag-release ng hand? Alright, so baka may papasagutan kami sa inyo na parang reflection, tatlong tanong lang naman yon, siguro after the session on Monday, para medyo mag-sink in yung ating mga inaaral. Okay, so sana member na kayo lahat ng nung ating FB group. Doon natin ilalagay lahat ng announcements, no? And yung mga documents na kailangan, schedule, deadlines, etc. So post your questions there. All right, so pag wala ng questions, I thank you very much for attending our first synchronous session. We will see you on Monday. Please don't be late kasi sayang yung yung matutunan niyo sa discussion. Yun ang pinakamaganda. Yung pag-aaral ng GeoGebra, kaya niyong aralin yan actually on your own. Pero yung math, doon natin i-discuss. Doc Alan will be the facilitator on Monday, but he will also be attending. Okay, thank you very much. So we'll see you on Monday, and please don't forget both activities and practice exercises. The due date is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Activities 1, 2, and 3, and practice exercises 1, 2, and 3. See you po. See you on Monday. Okay na tayo, Sir Alan? Ready?
Yes.
We'll see you on Monday. Mag-chat lang kayo sa maglagay lang kayo sa FB page kung may tanong kayo. See you.
Sir Alan, good afternoon po.
Yes po.
Sir, is it possible po na sa next although may mga nandito ba teachers kung naririnig niyo po, if possible po kahit pa paano mag-open cam po sila para kung doon sa recording po natin, nakikita po yung mga teachers.
May reminder po si Ma'am Galang na mag-open cam po tayo next time.
Yes po. Kahit po lang sir, kahit hindi continuous, basta every now and then po nag-open cam po. With all due respect po sa mga resource speaker natin, dear teachers, mag-open cam po tayo next session. Salamat po. Thank you, Ma'am Leslie. Open cam po, Ma'am Leslie. Thank you po. So next next session po, for purpose naman po din ng record ng ating pong documentation and also po sa po natin, with all due respect sa ating mga resource speaker. Para po nakikita naman po nila ang mga teachers ng City of San Fernando. Mag-open cam po tayo every now and then kasi napansin po sa buong time na nagsasalita po si Sir Jerry kanina. Wala po nag-open cam. Para naman po ma-appreciate ni Sir Jerry na may nakikinig po sa kanya. Although I'm sure naman po na nakikinig po tayong lahat. Okay po? Thank you po. Sensya na po sa request pero salamat po sa mga kayang mag-open cam next session. Okay po. Thank you po. Happy lunch po. Sir Alan, salamat po.
See you on Monday.
See you po.